Hi, this is Steve Walton from Tropic Heating and PatioHeat.com. Today we're going to take a look at this outdoor deck. Here you can see we have a 30 by 20. There's not really any issues with combustibles as far as clearances are concerned here, other than obviously the wall that we're on right here at the edge of the home. So let's go ahead and just take a look at what we have here. So what I've done here is I placed, well, let me go ahead and put the dimensions in here first, I guess. So what we have here is roughly 21, 18, 2 to the edge of this railing here, and then 21 to the wall here, and then roughly this is going to be 30 feet here. I have 29, 10 to the railing post, and let me just turn off this ray here for a moment. So basically we have a couple of areas here. We have a dining area and then a casual seating area. There is a fire pit here. However, I don't count on fire pits being portions of heat output for comfort. It's more of a aesthetic visual thing for me. So taking a look at that. So essentially what I have is I've placed 4 units out here. You could put 3, you could put 2, 1, however many that you really wish for. But there's a unique part of this application. So what these are Sunglo PSA265 heaters. They're manually operated, so you would have an ignition system that you would light the heater manually, and then turn the knob of the heater from the pilot position to the on position to utilize that. Now you could run a E unit. They call it a PSA265E. You'd have to run 24 volts underneath the patio here to each unit, and then have a switch, let's say over here somewhere, and that would allow you to turn the heaters on, having an individual switch. Maybe you can have a duplex switch, so you can have 2 switches. One duplex would hook up to 2 units, and the other duplex would hook up to the other 2 units. So let's go ahead and go back to the footprint of heat. Oh, by the way, I have them approximately 12 feet center to center. So 12 feet here, and 12 feet here, 12 feet here, 12 feet here. And what that does is it allows a nice overlapping between all the units. So you can see here we have a nice warm space, throughout this area right here. There's a couple of areas that are missed, obviously. And if it was more important to heat up this section here, you would just reverse the layout here. You can also add an additional socket here, and I'll explain that in a second, so that you can, possibly place 3, 4 units over here on this side if your function was to entertain over there. And then you could also do the same thing over here. You could put another socket over here. So let me just explain how that socket system works. So I'm going to go to the underside here. Let's see where we have it here. Whoops. Go back over here. There we go. So this one here, what you would do is you would locate your position of the post that you're looking for, and then you would take this socket, and the socket physically mounts to, and I don't think I have it actually, there we go. So this socket would mount to this joist, for instance. So if I wanted it to mount up to this joist here, I would just locate it so that it's right where the joist is at, and then the heater just slips into that socket below grade. You could have there's a little notch here in the socket itself to allow the gas line to slip through, and then the gas line would come up through a hole here. So you'd put a keyhole here. This is a 3-inch OD post, so you'd have like a 3 1/4 inch OD hole drilled into your decking, and then a keyed out notch right here. I have another video on that if you wanted to get some more detail about it. But that way the gas line would slip down through here, and then you can have a quick connect feature over here. Now I'm only assuming that these joists are running in this area or this location, and that they are actually there. This property could have something else below here, I'm not quite sure. But here's another example of how, if you were to meet a specific spot on the patio where you wanted the hole, you would drill out the hole, the keyhole as well, and then place a block between the joists, and that block would allow you to place the position of the deck mount specifically where it is that you want it. So, and that block could be done just like I showed you before back over here. You know, you wanted that post, say specifically here, you would just turn the deck mount to the location of where that block would be and then mount it on there. Now the nice thing about these is you could put these deck mounts, several of them in different locations, and have a quick connect feature that would allow you to simply snap in, snap out the gas line. If you went with the 24 volt, you'd have to fabricate that in the field for a disconnect on the electrical, but that would also work. And then you would locate these deck mounts, you know, throughout the deck spacing where you see fit to have those. And then of course, you know, you do have the issue if you have a hole in the deck. You could either cut out a section out of here, put some supports underneath them, and then you can make a replacement piece of the deck that you would just lay on top of the deck when the post is out of the deck itself or not being used. And then you can see here this deck mount itself would actually support that section of the post, or excuse me, the section of that the decking. So obviously if you went over here, you can see that I'm amid two pieces of the deck. You wouldn't really want that because you'd have to cut out this and manipulate that kind of differently. So you really want the hole to be in the center. So, but yeah, it gives you the flexibility. You can pull all four of them out if you didn't want to see them and store them maybe in a storage area. Or like I said, you know, you can have 2 units and then just plop them in where you see fit, you know, throughout the patio, wherever those deck mounts have been located. So this is my recommendation for a patio like this. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating needs, feel free to send us an email to support@patioheat.com. We just need a couple of images, some dimensions, line drawings if you have it. Anything like that would help, and we'll be glad to give you some assistance. Thank you and have a great day.